In today's warm-up, we're going to start in the lower body. We're going to begin by performing a hip circle, okay? Now, this could be done free to work in some balance, or we can step to a wall for assistance, or use a desk or chair, and then we'll perform circles. We're going to start with 10 reps of circling to the outside of the body, and then we will perform 10 reps circling to the inside of the body. And then we'll switch sides. Moving our warm-up is the single leg balance. So I'm going to turn to the lateral or side view for you so you can see where I move my hip. We're going to go to about 90 degrees. And then we're just going to tap that foot back to the floor and then raise it again. We're going to perform 10 reps on each side. Next in our warm-up, we have a T-spine rotation. T-spine, short for thoracic spine, is the part of the spine that is in the upper back, okay? And so what we're going to do is take both hands, put them straight out in front, and then we're going to open one side and rotate as far back as we can. We can also assist this on the wall if we're having a little bit of trouble keeping those hands in place. We'll put one arm on the wall, keep it there, and then we will open with the other side. Our final move in this warm-up will be an assisted hip hinge. So for this, I'll use the back of the chair and place my hands there. Now, if you don't have a sturdy chair, you could also place your hands on the desk, table, or the wall, and that will work just fine. I'm going to walk my feet back just a little bit, and then I'm going to sink my hips back and away from the chair, lowering my chest down towards the floor. Okay, we're looking to feel a stretch somewhere along the back of the leg for the hamstrings, but also in some of these parts of the back, the long muscles, which we call the latissimus dorsi. And then we can come right back up by extending the hips or pushing them forward and then dropping back down into that stretch again. At the bottom, we'll hold for 2 or 3 seconds just to feel the stretch and then come right back up. So the first movement in our workout is going to be just a simple push-up. Now, if you have the ability, we can perform these from the floor in that plank position, abs engaged, hands underneath our shoulders, lower to the floor, press right back up. If we need a modification, we can drop the knees. Once again, chest down towards the floor and back up. Feel free to widen your hand position if you need to. Other modifications that can be made are also with a wall push-up, both hands on the wall, falling into the wall, pressing back out, or you could use something like a desk or the back of a sturdy chair. The next exercise that we'll be performing is a single arm row. Now, I've got my kettlebell here again. This could be done with a resistance band. If you've got a reusable grocery bag, you can throw some stuff in there and use that for some resistance as well. But we're going to take a staggered stance. The side that the weight is on is going to be which leg you drop back behind you. And you can either come up onto your toes or keep that foot flat on the floor. Lean forward slightly, and if you need some assistance, you can reach for a chair or the wall, but then we're going to draw that elbow back towards your hip. I'll give you the lateral view also. Draw that elbow back towards the hip to get a little bit of core work and work some of these muscles of the back. We'll perform our reps and then we'll switch sides. The next movement we have is our deadlift. Now, once again, I'm going to use the kettlebell. If you've got that reusable grocery bag or something, that's just got a little bit of weight to it, this is an exercise where you do want to add some load if you've got the ability to. And we're going to start with our chest up. Feet should be right underneath our hips, okay? And as we perform this, we want to think about just keeping ourselves balanced over our feet, kind of the body weight over the middles of the foot. We're going to shift our hips back and lower that weight down towards the floor. Now, if you can't get all the way to the floor, that's okay. You can stop somewhere in that kind of a middle of the shin area or near your ankles, and then come right back up. I'll give you the lateral view. I'm going to shift those hips back to start the movement. Lower the weight. I'm going to come all the way to the floor on this one, and then I'll pick that right back up. Aim to keep your back flat. Try not to round out through the spine. We want to keep back nice and even as we perform these. So a thruster just combines a little bit of a squat and a shoulder press for a nice full body move. So I'm going to use kettlebells. You could use dumbbells, canned goods, water bottles that are large enough, whatever will give you a reasonable amount of resistance for these. We're going to take a little bit of a squat, hips will go back behind us, and then we're going to press on the way up and out. Bring the weights back down. Hips down and back, press up on the way out. Give you the lateral view. Hips down and back. This could be performed to a chair or an ottoman if you need it. This could also be performed with no resistance whatsoever. Hips down and back. Weights go up on the way out. This next exercise and final of the workout is a lying leg raise. Now these can also be performed standing if you can't necessarily get down to the floor, which I'll demonstrate that modification also. But starting from the floor, lying flat on the back, nice relaxed position. We're going to just raise one leg at a time. Raise that leg up as far as you can while keeping it straight. Now, if you can't achieve 90 degrees, wherever you have usable range is fine. Our modification or assisted, if we needed something like a chair or desk, we can hold ourselves up, nice tall posture, and then we'll just raise that leg. If we need another modification from there, it's going to be similar to our single leg balance that we used in the warm-up. So this first stretch in our cool down is an assisted chest stretch. You could do this with the assistance of a chair, or you could use a wall or doorway like I have listed. So for the chair, you're going to reach your hand over the back of the chair. Make sure that you keep that arm straight, rotate away from the chair, and also lift your chin towards the ceiling. Remember, we're looking for a 4 to 6 out of 10 with the intensity of the stretch here. And then we'll perform on the other side. Now, if you're going to use the wall or door frame, you can put your elbow in the door frame, slightly lean forward. Or if you're going to use the wall, hand can stay in the door frame, get close to that wall, and then slightly rotate your hips away from the wall. Remember, 4 to 6 out of 10. The next stretch we have is an overhead lat stretch. So I'm going to start by reaching up over my head. I'm going to use my left arm and grab underneath my left elbow, or I guess above my left elbow, and draw that across the body. I'm going to lean my torso to the right as well to open up this space here. And we'll perform on the other side. That stretch in the cool down is a standing hamstring stretch. Now, this could happen a couple of ways. If you have a sturdy chair, you could use it to place your foot onto the chair, having just a slight angle in your knee, then you can lean forward and begin to stretch the back of the leg. You can also just perform what we call a forward fold. Reach down towards the floor. It's the old school touch your toes drill to stretch the back of the legs also. If you need to perform this also one leg at a time from that full standing position, then you can just reach one foot out in front of you and reach for that set of toes. Just make sure that your hips can slide backwards. And keep your weight on those heels.